Hello friends. In this lecture, we will continue with the same topic, that is the highway geometry design, vertical curves. But in this lecture, we will be now taking up the next concept, the next type of curve, that is the valley curve. And in the previous lecture, what we studied was the summit curves. Okay. So what we are studying right now is highway geometric design, highway geometric design, vertical curves. Vertical curves, that is the curves that lie in the vertical plane. And under vertical curves there are two subtopics. First one is the summit curve, okay, the summit curve, and the second subtopic is valley curve. Okay, so we have already discussed the theory of summit curves, okay, and we are left with numerical examples based on the summit curve. But before that, we will move on to the valley curve, okay, and then we will come back to numerical examples based on the summit curve as well as the valley curves. Okay, so as the name suggests, we will now discuss the valley curves, guys. Okay, so as the name suggests, what are valley curves? What comes to your mind is valley. Valley is this way, something like this, that itself is valley. Okay, so these are the two gradients joining. Okay, one will be a downward gradient and the other one will be like this, the upward or the straight one, you can say. So say that this gradient is minus n1 since it is downward, and since it is upward it is plus n2. Okay, minus n1 and the plus n2. So the angle of deflection over here, n, angle of deflection over here, n is equal to first minus the second. Okay, so the angle of deflection is minus n1 minus n2. So we should note the point over here that for summit curves, the deflection angle is positive. The deflection angle is positive, and for valley curves, for valley curves, the deflection angle is negative. So this is exactly the way you can quantify whether the curve is summit curve or the valley curve. Okay, you can quantify it based on the deflection angle, whether it is positive or it is negative. If positive, it is a summit curve, and if it is negative, then it is the valley curve. Okay, so uh, in case of the valley curves, suppose a valley curve is like this. Valley curve is like this. So n1 is like this, minus n1. This one is flat, so this will be like this, n2. Okay, plus n2 equal to 0. So the deflection angle n will be equal to minus n1 minus n2 equal to minus n1 minus 0 equal to minus n1. Okay, so similarly in other cases also, suppose it is like this, and n1 is equal to 0, n2 equal to some value. So the deflection angle n is equal to n1 minus n2 equal to 0 minus n2 equal to minus n2. So since it is minus n2, it is a valley curve. Okay, so the next type will be like this and like this. Now I am not drawing the curve over here. So it is positive one, so plus n1, and here it will be plus n2 since and n2 is greater than n1. So the deflection angle n is equal to n1 minus n2. Okay, so it is a negative number. Okay, since n2 is greater than n1. Okay, so next it can be of this kind, the minus n1 and minus n2. minus n2. Therefore, the n1 is greater than, where n1 is greater than mod of n2. So the n value you can calculate based on these given gradients, okay, the deflection angles you can calculate. So the ideal valley curve is given, the ideal valley curve is cubic parabola. Please write down the ideal valley curve. Ideal valley curve is cubic parabola. Cubic parabola. Okay. Or you can say that it is 3-degree parabola. Parabola of degree 3. It is transition curve. So parabola of degree 3 or the cubic parabola is a transition curve. Please write down. It is a transition curve where centrifugal force can be gradually introduced. Where centrifugal force can be gradually introduced. Gradually introduced. Okay. So the reason for this is the reason for 3-degree parabola. Please write down reason for 3-degree parabola. Since we can introduce the centrifugal force gradually on this transition curve, that is 3-degree parabola, the ideal valley curve is considered to be a 3-degree parabola. So guys, see, the reason I will tell you that valley curves are of this kind, and when a vehicle is moving like this on the valley curve, when the vehicle is moving like this, okay, what happens? The centrifugal force is in the acting in the outward direction. So when the vehicle comes over here, then the centrifugal force is here, and weight is also acting in the same direction. So centrifugal force plus W, that is the weight, is the neck force that will be acting on the passengers. So is the reason why centrifugal force is increasing the weight of the passengers and hence increasing the uncomfort for the passengers. So that is the reason what we need to do is we need to gradually introduce this curve. Okay, we need to gradually introduce this curve so that the discomfort will be lesser, and that is the reason we provide the cubic parabola or the 3-degree parabola. Reason you write down that in valley curves centrifugal force is a problem. Centrifugal force is a problem. So we should introduce so we should introduce the centrifugal force gradually. Okay, so thereby providing the transition curve, thereby providing transition curve which is 3-degree parabola in this case, which is 3-degree parabola in this case, and it should be noted that 2-degree parabola is not a transition curve. 2-degree parabola is not a transition curve. So we need to use the 3-degree parabola. So let us now discuss the design criteria for the for the valley curves. Please write down the design criteria for valley curves. Okay. So the first design criteria is comfort, or you can say the centrifugal criteria. Centrifugal criteria. Okay. So, and the second design criteria is the headlight sight distance, headlight sight distance. Second criteria is headlight sight distance during night. I'll discuss and why not during day. I'll discuss why it is not so during the day. So what happens is that we will now discuss the first criteria, that is the comfort, the centrifugal criteria. What happens in this is on the valley curves, the vehicle is moving in this way. Okay, so in this way the vehicles move. So centrifugal force is acting in this direction as well as the weight is acting in this direction, so which is a problem. So that is the reason we need to ensure that the centrifugal force is introduced gradually, because centrifugal force add to the weight, which leads to increased weight and hence the discomfort. So to ensure that the centrifugal force should be introduced slowly, the rate of change of centrifugal acceleration should be equal to rate of it is rate okay rate of rate of change of centrifugal acceleration should be equal to 0.61. Okay, no other value than this, 0.61 meters per second cube. We discussed that on transition curves is the same value, rate of change of centrifugal acceleration C should be equal to 80 upon 75 plus capital V. Okay, but in this case this formula is not there and there is only a single value, that is it should be 0.61 meters per second cube. Okay, this should be the rate of change of centrifugal acceleration to introduce the centrifugal force slowly. This is only This formula is only and only applicable for the horizontal transition curves. Okay, so the length of length of valley curves is equal to length of valley curves length of valley curves capital L is equal to twice of small ls. Capital L is equal to twice of small ls, which is equal to 2 into nv cube by c. So ls equal to nv cube by c raised to 1 by 2. Okay, which is equal to 2 root of nv cube by c. Now that is, the valley curve is formed by two symmetric cubic parabolae joined symmetrically. Okay, the valley curve is is formed by two symmetric cubic parabolae joined symmetrically. Therefore, length of the valley curve is equal to twice of ls is equal to 2 under root of nv cube by c. Okay, so in the figure it will be given that this total length L is, there is small ls up to this. Okay, and another small ls equal to this, which are symmetric to each other at this point. Okay, which are symmetrical to this at this point. So this is the formula for the valley curves. Okay, twice of under root nv cube by c, and all the symbols have got their usual meanings. All symbols have got their usual meanings. So the second design criteria is headlight sight distance in night. Headlight sight distance in the night. Reason is that reason is that the vehicle on in valley curve moves like this. Suppose this is the vehicle. Okay, its headlight will be going like this, but the obstacle will be here, and it is a night time, so it is moving. Okay, so the driver will be able to see this only, and but this is the actual obstacle. Okay, this is the obstacle, and driver is not able to visualize this particular thing. Okay, so this problem occurs in night itself, and if it was a day, if it was a day, this object would have been visible to our driver here. Okay, it would have been visible to this driver. So the headlight sight distance is the problem in the night time, and during daytime all the kind of sight distances are not a problem. Please write down that during daytime all the kind of sight distances are not of any problem. Okay, the only design criteria over valley curve in is SSD during night. So SSD during night is the only design criteria for valley curves. Design criteria for valley curves. Okay, guys. So we will now discuss the formula for length of the valley curve based on the sight distance. Okay. So in this case, the sight distance S is equal to SSD, which is equal to HSD. Okay, in this case. So just like the summit curve, the way we discussed in the summit curve based on this S value, we discussed the formula. So exactly the same way for case 1 here will be, the case 1 will be length of the curve is greater than the sight distance. Okay, where sight distance is equal to SSD, and which is equal to HSD. Over here HSD is the headlight sight distance. Please write down headlight sight distance. Okay. Okay, so the formula is L equal to ns square upon twice of h1 plus 2s tan alpha. 2s tan alpha. So you know what is n value, you also know the s value, you know h1, the small h1, and this s is known to you. What is alpha? Alpha is the new term to you. So if this is a vehicle like this, if a vehicle is like this, okay, vehicle is of this kind, and small h1 is the height of the headlight of the vehicle. Small h1 is the height of the headlight of the vehicle, that is equal to 0.75 meters. Okay, which is standard as per IRC. Okay, and alpha is the angle, and this is the beam, light beam. Okay, light beam, and this alpha is the angle of the horizontal to the light beam. Okay, and this light beam is the alpha is equal to 1 degree as per IRC. And who does it? It is the manufacturer. It is the manufacturer ensures that the light beam, that the light beam is slightly uh, towards the upper side, okay, by alpha equal to 1 degree for better visibility. It gives the better visibility. It is for better visibility. Okay guys, so you know all the terms, and you just have to simply solve and find out what is the length of the valley curve. And the case 2 in this will be when the length of the curve, valley curve, is less than the side distance. Okay, so in this case the formula is given as L equal to twice of S minus 2H1 plus 2S tan alpha upon N. Okay, so these are the two formulae. You have to use the appropriate formula in the appropriate situation based on the length of the relationship between the length of the curve and the side distance. Okay, and based on this first criteria, that is the comfort criteria, based on the comfort criteria, and the second criteria is the SST criteria, or I'll say HSD criteria. You have to decide the which one of these two is the greater length, and that will be the final design length for the valley curve. Okay, so the valley curves are of this kind. Okay, valley curves are of this kind, and whenever it rains, then what happens is that the complete rainwater comes and accumulates over here at the lowest point of the valley curve. Okay, at the lowest point, that is at this point, all the water comes and it meets over here, so that in valley curves drainage is a problem. In valley curves drainage is a problem, is the problem. Okay, and whereas in the summit curves are like this. If it rains over here, water is going to flow like this, and there will be no water over here. So in summit curves drainage is not a problem. Okay, so finally the design criteria for valley curves are the design criteria for valley curves are the design criterions for valley curve are: the first criteria is the comfort or the centrifugal criteria. Okay, which is purely based on rate of change of the rate of change of centrifugal acceleration. Okay, where which is fixed to 0.61 meter per second cube. Okay, in valley curves. And the second criteria is the vehicle headlight distance. The second criteria is headlight vehicle headlight distance. Second criteria is the vehicle headlight distance. The third criteria that we discussed is the cross drainage control at lowest point of valley. It is the cross drainage control at lowest point. Okay, and fourth criteria the fourth criteria is that the general aesthetic considerations. General aesthetic considerations. So these are the four criteria, and if you consider the summit curves, which of these four are applicable? Can you please tell me? Please find out which of the four are applicable. Is comfort a problem in summit curves? Can you tell me? Is it a problem? Is comfort a problem in summit curves? So comfort is not the problem, because summit curves are like this. Centrifugal force act in this direction, whereas the weight acts in this direction. The centrifugal force reduces the weight and hence help in increasing the comfort of the patient, of the passengers. Okay, so comfort is not the problem. So cross drainage control. Drainage is also not problem in the Summit curves because the water is going to flow like this. The aesthetic considerations, yes, it has to be taken care of even in case of the summit curves, and the stopping side distance or the side distance, simply we say that is the consideration. It is but not the vehicle headlight side distance, it is just the side distance. Okay, maybe it is stopping side distance at times and it is at times the overtaking side distance. Okay, and at times it is also intermediate side distance. So the side distance is the consideration and the general aesthetic view is the consideration in the summit curves. So now let's take some numerical questions based on the curves, the vertical curves. So the first question is that it is a previous gate question. I don't know the year in which it was asked. Previous gate question. Okay, it is a previous gate question that a valley curve has got descending gradient of 1 in 40 followed by an ascending gradient of 1 in 50. So the descending gradient of 1 in 40 and the ascending gradient of 1 in 50. Okay, the length of the curve required for design speed of 80 kilometers per hour for comfort condition is, so V is equal to 80 kilometers, capital V is equal to 80 kilometers per hour. So the deflection angle over here N will be given as N1 minus N2, that is equal to minus 1 by 40 minus 1 by 50, and the answer comes out to be, please calculate and tell me. So it comes out to be minus 9 by 200. Since we get negative, this value is, it is a valley curve and we got this confirmation that it is a valley curve. Okay, so now we will have to use the formula for the length of the valley curve. What is been asked is the length of the valley curve required for a design speed of 80 km per hour comfort condition is. So the length is given as twice of ls equal to twice of under root of nv cube by c. Okay, so which is equal to 2 root of n value is 9 by 200. It is small v, which stands for speed in meters per second. So 80 into 5 by 18, which is equal to 80 into 5 by 18, which is equal to 22.22 meters per second. 22.22 meters per second. Okay, so 22.22 cube upon c value is, c value for the comfort condition, it is fixed in case of the valley curves, so it is 0.61, and you please solve and whatever comes is the answer to this question. And note that n value when you are putting it should be in plus. Okay, so the answer that comes out to be is 56.89 meters. Okay, so the based on the comfort condition, the length of the valley curve is equal to 56.89 and the answer is option C. So what you get to see over here is that it is a very straightforward question. Once you know the formula, you can easily answer it. Okay, so we will now move on to the next question, that is the given side distance, as given the side distance as 150 meters, the height of driver's eye is equal to 1.5 meters. The height of object is given as 0.15 meters. The grade difference is 0.09. So n equal to 0.09, and the required length of summit parabolic curve is, the length of summit parabolic curve is. So let's assume that length of the summit parabolic curve is greater than the side distance, which is case 1, and for this the length of the parabolic curve is L equal to ns square upon under root of 2h plus under root of 2 small h bracket whole square, which will be equal to 0.09 into 120 square upon under root of 2 into 1.5 plus under root of 2 into 0.15 bracket whole square, okay, bracket whole square, which is equal to 249 meters, which is equal to 249 meters, and it is greater than 150 meters. Okay, it is greater than, sorry, it should be 150 over here. It is greater than the 150 meters. So let us assume that since the relationship between the length and s is not known, let us assume that length of the curve is greater than equal to the s value. So as per that is the case 1, okay, case 1, and the length of the curve in this case is given as ns square upon under root of 2h plus under root of 2h square, which is equal to 0.09 into 150 square upon under root of 2 into 1.5 plus root of 2 into 0.15 bracket whole square, and solving this we get the answer, which is equal to the answer is equal to 389.62 meters. Okay, 389.62 meters. Just substitute the values and you will get this answer. Okay, so let us now move on to the next question. That is, a parabolic curve is used to connect a 4% upgrade with 3% downgrade. The highest point on the summit curve is at a distance of what, measured from the first tangent. So the situation is there is 4% upgrade and next one is 3% downgrade, and the curve is like this. Okay, so the question being asked is that what is the distance of highest point of this point measured horizontally from the first tangent is. So say that the first tangent starts from here, so they are asking this distance. Okay, this distance is being asked. So how to go about this problem? And also it is given that this complete distance, is equal to 120 meters. Okay, so they are asking what is this distance, okay. So the n value, it is 4% minus of minus 3%, it stands for 7%. Okay, so for 7% the distance is 120 meters, then up to here it is just 4% of the gradient. So for 4%, what is the distance? So please calculate at 4 into 120 upon 7, which is equal to 68.57 meters. Please check the calculations. 68.57 meters. So up to this point, the highest point, the summit point, the distance is 68.57 meters. So the next question is that a rising gradient of 1 in 30 meets a falling gradient of 1 in 90. A rising gradient of 1 in 30 meets a falling gradient of 1 in 90. Okay. The length of vertical curve if the rate of change of gradient is 1% per 50 meter length. So the rate of change of gradient is 1% per 50 meter length. So here the n value is 1 by 30 minus of minus 1 by 90, which is equal to, please tell me what is the answer. 1 by 30 plus 1 by 90, which is equal to 2 by 45, which stands for 0.0444, which is equal to 4.44 percentage. Okay. So the question asked is the length of vertical curve if the rate of change of gradient is 1% per 50 meter length. So for 1% it is 50 meters. So for 4.44 it is what? Which will be equal to 50 into 4.44, which is given as 222 meters. 222 meters. Okay. So we will take up the next question, that is the gradient of 1 by 25 meets a rising gradient of 1 by 25 meets a falling gradient of 1 in 50. So here n1 equal to plus 1 by 25, n2 equal to, it is a falling gradient, so 1 minus 1 in 50. Okay. On a national highway, the minimum stopping or overtaking side distance is 180 meters. So S equal to 180 meters. The design speed is V equal to capital V equal to 100 kilometers per hour. The length of summit curve is equal to what? Length of summit curve is what? So we have here n will be equal to, that is the deflection angle will be equal to 1 in 25 minus 1 by 50 is equal to 3 by 50. Okay, 3 by 50, which is equal to 6%. And assuming, we will find out the length now. Assuming length of the summit curve greater than the S value, the side distance, therefore we have L equal to ns square upon under root of 2h plus under root of 2 small h bracket whole square, which will be equal to n is 0.06 into s is 180 meters, and under root of 2 into 1.5 plus under root of 2 into 0.15 bracket whole square, which will be equal to 442.18 meters. 442.18 meters, which is greater than SSD, therefore therefore it is therefore it is okay, that is the our assumption is correct and we need not go and use the second formula. Okay, so the length of the summit curve is 442.18 meter. So the next question is, it is a previous gate question. A previous gate question it is. Previous gate question. Consider the following statements in context of geometry design of roads. The first statement is a simple parabolic curve is an acceptable shape for summit curve. And the second statement is comfort to passengers is an important consideration in design of summit curves. So which one of the two is correct one? Okay, true or false it is, maybe which one of them is correct? So the parabolic curve has got simple parabolic curve, summit curve has got simple parabolic curve, it is right. And comfort to passengers is not consideration in design of summit curves, because summit curves are like this. The vehicle is, suppose this is the vehicle, then the centrifugal force is like this and weight is like this. So this centrifugal force nullifies the weight, hence it increases the comfort. Okay, so second one is the wrong statement that comfort to passengers is an important consideration in the design of summit curves. In design of curves, the only design consideration is the side distance, and secondly, like suppose here is the vehicle and here is the obstruction and this is the SSD. The driver cannot see this because of the raised portion. Okay, so that is the reason that in summit curves side distance is the only consideration, and another consideration is the aesthetic point of view. Okay, so let's move ahead. This is also a previous gate question. A previous gate question. Previous gate question. So the question is, a vertical curve joins two gradients of 3% and -2%. So n1 is equal to 3% and n2 is equal to -2% for a design speed of 80 kilometers per hour, and the corresponding stopping side distance is 120 meters. The height of driver's eye and the object above the road surface are capital H is equal to 1.2 meter and small h is equal to 0.15 meters respectively. The curved length, which is less than the stopping side distance to be provided, is, so here it is given that the curved length is less than the stopping side distance is, so it is case 2, and we have got simple formula that length is equal to twice of s minus in bracket under root of 2h plus under root of 2h square bracket whole square upon n. But we need to first calculate this n value. So the n is given by n1 minus n2, which is equal to 3% minus of -2%, so which is equal to 5%. So L is equal to 2 into 120 minus 2 into 1.2 plus 2 into 0.15 bracket whole square upon n is equal to 5%, that is 0.05, and please calculate. The answer is 152 meters. 152 meters. Okay, so the option B is the right option, right choice. Okay, so it is such a easy simple question. Okay, that is asked for the previous gate question. It is such a simple question. If you know the formula, then you can really solve it very easily. So we will now move on to the next question. That is, it is also previous gate question. It is previous gate question. For a proportion of national highway where a descending gradient of 1 in 25 meets, so it is descending gradient 1 in 25, that's why write it as -1 by 25, with an ascending gradient of 1 in 20, so that n2 is equal to +1 by 20. A valley curve needs to be designed for a vehicle traveling at 90 kilometers per hour based on the following conditions. So you have to design the valley curves. Okay, valley curves. So headlight side distance is equal to the stopping side distance of a level terrain, considering the length of the curve greater than s. Length of the curve is greater than s. SSD, assume total reaction time is equal to 2.5 seconds, and coefficient of longitudinal friction of the pavement is 0.35. Height of headlight of vehicle is 0.75 and 0.75 meters. Okay, and so small h is equal to 0.75 meters, and beam angle is 1%. beam angle is 1%. What is the length of the curve in meters based on headlight sight distance condition? So what what you can see here is length of the curve is given to be, it is given that length of the curve is greater than the s. So the formula that we should use is of case 1, okay, and for value curve for case 1, L equal to ns square upon twice of h1 plus twice of s tan alpha, okay. But we don't know n and the s values over here, so n we will calculate, n will be equal to n1 minus n2 equal to minus 1 by 25 minus 1 by 20, which is equal to minus 0.09. And stopping side distance, that is SSD, it is given that level terrain considering length of valley curve greater than SSD, but we don't know what is the value of SSD, okay. And uh, yes, so assume total reaction time of 2.5 seconds and calculate SSD, because the headlight sight distance is equal to SSD, and SSD is given as Vt plus V square upon 2GF, okay. So the V over here is 25, V small v is 25. Since the vehicle is traveling with V equal to 90 kilometers per hour, which is equal to small v equal to 90 into 5 by 18, which is equal to 18 5s are 90 and 5 5s are 25, so 25 meters per second. That is the way I have written. I said that it is 25, and into t the reaction time is 2.5 seconds, plus small v is 25 square, 2 into g is 9.81, and f is 0.35, okay. So the s value, what we get headlight sight distance is 153.51 meters, okay, 153.51 meters. And now we will have to use this value in the formula, in this formula of length of the, in this formula of length of the valley curve. Therefore L is equal to n is 0.09, put it as plus, okay, into s square, that is 153.51 square, 2 into small h1, so small h1 is 0.75 plus 2 into s is 153.51, and into tan of 1 degree, tan of 1 degree, which gives us the answer equal to, answer is, so the answer is 309.20 meters. So the answer is, the correct option is option A. So again a very simple question, just that the two bits were involved into the same question, so that such kind of questions in GATE are asked for 2 marks, okay. So first what you have to do is find out the n value, then find out the s value, that is from SSD, and then go for calculation for of L. So here what you require was knowing, you should know this formula as well as this formula. So if you know the formula, you can simply substitute the values and get to the right answer, okay. So the next question, this is also a previous GATE question. So the question is, vertical curve joins 0.5% grade with 3.5% grade. A vertical curve joins 0.5% grade with 3.5% grade. So n1 is equal to 0.5% and n2 is equal to 3.5%, with the VPI at its coordinate of 500, 50, okay, VPI, and from the benchmark points, okay. Due to certain other traffic flow related considerations, due to certain other traffic flow related considerations, a passing or overtaking side distance of 470 meters is required on the curve. So OSD required is equal to S is equal to 470 meters. Determine the length of curve. Determine the length of the curve is equal to what? And assume the design speed of 80 km per hour. So V is equal to 80 kilometers per hour, which will be equal to, please convert it into meters per second. So 80 into 5 by 18. So the answer is 22.22 meters. 22.22 meter per second. Okay. Okay. So here in this question, first of all, you will have to decide whether it is a valley curve or summit curve to understand which formula to use to calculate the length of the curve. So we will understand that, we will come to know it from n equal to n1 minus n2, which is equal to 0.5% minus 3.5%, which is equal to minus 3%. Since it is negative, hence it is a valley curve. A valley curve. Okay. And so let us now assuming that the length is greater than equal to length of the curve is greater than equal to the that length of the curve is greater than the side distance. So this is case 1, and the formula for this is L equal to ns square upon twice of h1 plus twice of s tan alpha. Okay. Since here h1 is not given, then use h1 equal to 0.75 as per IRC and alpha equal to 1 degree as per IRC, and all other values are known to us. So n over here is 0.03, s is 470 square, and 2 into h1 is 0.75 plus 2 into s value is, what is s? S is 470 into tan of 1, tan of 1 degrees. Okay. So after calculating, we get it equal to 370.06 meters, which is less than the S value, which is 470. But what we had assumed was L is greater than S. So here L is less than S. That is, our assumption is wrong. Our assumption is wrong. So we need to go for case 2, where length of the curve is less than the side distance. Okay. So we need to go for case 2. Okay. So the case 2, that length of the curve is less than the side distance. Okay. So the formula here used will be L equal to twice of S minus twice of H1 plus twice of S tan alpha upon N. And so that 2 into 470 minus 2 into small h value is 0.75 plus 2 into 470 into tan of 1 degree upon n is 0.03. So it gives answer as 343 meters. 343 meters, which is less than the S value, that is 470 meters. Hence our assumption is correct. Our assumption is correct. So please check whether it is there in the options. Oh yes, exactly, it is there in the option, that is 343 meters. So the answer is option D, 343 meters. So in this way, we are done with the numerical examples on the vertical curves. So after solving the previous year GATE questions, the previous year GATE the examples, you might have realized that if you know the formula and you have proper concepts and you know the proper formula, and if you take care of the tricks involved, then you can very easily solve the GATE questions. Okay, there is nothing that's so special to attempt a GATE question. Thing is that the syllabus is very vast, and you have to keep so many things in your mind, so that you will have to use somewhere your own engineering mind, and you should approach properly towards the problem that is asked in the GATE. If you practice well, then success in GATE is very easy. Okay, but you know guys, it is very important to practice. Like, just after this lecture, going back to the home, you should have revision, you should revise all these formulae, you should keep them in mind. And hardly there are very few formulae which are really lengthy, but you know, GATE hardly focuses on the lengthy formulae. uh, the formula of this kind, it is very easy because it is formula of one type, you know. Like you can the vertical curves formulae, that is the valley curve and the summit curve formulae, you can keep it in mind very easily, uh, just by keeping one formula in your mind and later on applying your own concepts. Like for example, for if it is a summit curve, then there cannot be this particular term involved. If it is a summit curve, there cannot be this term involved, okay, tan alpha, because in case of summit curve, this alpha is never a consideration, because alpha comes when the headlight side distance come into picture. Okay, so it is very much clear to us that this cannot be a formula for headlight side distance. So you should keep in your mind it in this way. This is the same pattern. Okay, for summit curve also it was somewhere that 2s minus of under root of 2h plus under root of 2h, the small h bracket whole square upon n, and in that place here there is a slight change, okay, based on the requirement, based on the concept. So while keeping the formula in your mind, what you should do is you should apply some logic, some judgment, and keep the formula in mind. You should start writing this formula so that uh, you easily remember the formula in the examination. And you know, practicing the formula from this very second itself is really important, guys. Okay, so we are done with this, and please solve more and more GATE exam, previous GATE questions, so that you get more clarity of what kind of questions are asked. The questions that are repeated many times in the GATE examination, the type of questions that are repeated many times in the previous GATE examinations are really important. And you know, may be the case that only numerical values will be changed and the same question will be repeated, and just some or the other trick is involved in it. So you should have practice of solving the previous year questions, and you should have practice, you should have habit to take care of the tricks that are been involved. Okay, so I'll be taking a lecture in which we will be briefly going through all the formulae for all the chapters of highway geometry design. That might be half an hour or 1 hour lecture, but we will discuss very quickly all the formulae, and there I'll tell you that how to just go about the formulae and quickly review the formulae on daily basis. Okay, so that you can start uh, revising the formulae on daily basis afterwards. Okay, so from next lecture we will be moving on to the next uh, unit or the next topic, that is the traffic engineering, and we are done with the highway geometric design. Okay, okay, so thank you so much.